Today's quilt will completely change the way you see a scrappy quilt. Forget crazy quilts, string quilts. This one truly is a game changer. But beware, once you start, you will not be able to stop. I'm looking for strips in pretty colors. That's it. That's all I need. And I think I'm in luck because I've got bags and bags of them right here. Now, I know I'm way late to this party, but today I am making a shift quilt. I'm doing it a bit differently than Moda's pattern though, because I'm using scraps instead of jelly rolls, and I had to adapt it to the scraps I own. Only because I don't have any jelly rolls available at the moment, and as you know, I have so many scraps. Well, that and you know me, I like to change things up a bit. Also, I love working with scraps. There's something so special about turning trash into treasure. I will be linking Moda's pattern in the description though, if you want to follow it. It is pretty cool. And this is a pretty simple quilt pattern that looks stunning once it's done. All we need is some 8 by 2.5 inch pattern rectangles, and for each one of those we are going to need one 4.5 by 2.5 inch rectangle and one 2.5 inch square in your chosen solid fabric. And mine is white. And essentially we will need to replace the corners with the white fabric, and it doesn't matter which piece goes where, it will all look the same by the time we're done. Now that we have both of our very colorful pieces ready, it's time to sew them together into one quilt block. And one of the best things about this pattern is you do not need to nest those seams. There is no seam nesting anywhere, and I love that. All there's left to do is to press our block so I can show it to you. And here we have it, our first block looking pretty perfect. And now we need 19 more blocks. I am doing just a small sample of the original pattern, and that is more than enough, so let's get to it. For some reason I found a lot of 8-inch pieces in my scrap pile, hence the adjustment from 8.5 to 8 inches for my pieces. It just felt really wasteful not to use them just because of half an inch. And the reason why I decided to make this pattern, other than the fact that I have seen so many stunning versions online, is because I'm always fascinated by patterns where you look at the pieces and they aren't that big of a deal, nothing too impressive or jaw-dropping. Also, very easy to make, that's a big deal. And then, once you see all the blocks put together, you get it. You get why so many people are doing this quilt pattern and why it's so stunning. Whenever I replace corners for my quilts, I know you always worry about the leftover triangles I get from them. Well, for one thing, as you know, I'm always doing scrappy projects, so you know they're not going to waste. I am going to be using them eventually. But if you'd like another solution that doesn't involve creating scraps, we can always create half square triangles. All we need to do is add another seam half an inch away from the seam we'll create for this project. That way, when you cut between both seams, you will get an instant HST ready to go. Another very awesome thing about this quilt pattern is there is no right way to do this. Regardless of how you place the white pieces, it will always be right, which takes a lot of pressure off our shoulders because we don't need to be focusing on what we're doing all the time. We just go with the flow and enjoy the process of working with pretty fabrics. If I were to do the original pattern, I would be using some jelly roll strips, which means that unlike my version of the pattern that features different fabrics for all my pieces, you would get a lot of repetitions as far as fabric goes, which if you do the original pattern, it won't be a problem because the thing is huge. For a smaller piece though, I'm not sure if repeating the fabrics a lot wouldn't make it a bit boring. You know, I'd have to try and see. Well, you know, unless you're using those really stunning fabrics that you could just look at it for hours, then you'd be good. Another big plus for this pattern, no trimming required other than those corners. It really is a breeze to make. And before you know it, we are done and our pretty blocks are all ready to go, and just look at that. Let's puzzle. And for that, I'm going to need some leaders and enders to top off each of our rows. We've got 2.5 by 4.5 inches, 4.5 squares, 6.5 by 4.5 inch rectangles, and the larger ones are 8.5 by 4.5 inches. I'm doing 6 rows separated by sashing. And I cannot wait to see how it all turns out in the end. There really isn't a wrong way to place these. I would say that maybe trying to avoid the same colors together, but it will work either way because we are using sashing to separate our rows, which means they won't ever touch. Which actually makes this the easiest puzzle ever, really. About the leaders and enders, the idea here is to mismatch our pieces, which I think gives the whole thing much needed movement. To me, these look like waves or a wind chime as the wind blows. You know, there's a whimsical quality to this pattern that I really love. And because this pattern is so simple, I'm not making an in-depth tutorial for Patreon and YouTube membership, and I'm actually not finishing this one either, I'm afraid. But I am overwhelmed and happy with your responses to the exclusive videos I've been creating. To see you excited about something that gets me so excited is truly an awesome feeling. So thank you so much for your support and the lovely community we're building together. And if you haven't checked it out yet, please do. I'll leave a link in the description. Now, about our sashing, I'm making it 1.5 inches. I think any more than that and the white will overwhelm everything else, and we don't want that. Also, before I'm done with this, it will require a frame. A simple white frame to finish off the pattern. I made mine 2.5 inches wide. Another small change I made to the original pattern because this is a small piece and I don't think it needs a wider frame than that. And as far as pressing goes, you can press each time you add a piece to the pattern, or each time you complete a row, or each time you add a sashing strip, you know, whatever you prefer. For me, because this is a really simple pattern, I pressed when my rows were finished, and now, once all of it is done and ready to go. Oftentimes, pressing really is a big deal for making sure your quilt goes smoothly, and now there's not as much, and this one doesn't need a lot of fuss in my opinion. And I am almost done, and I cannot wait to show you how this looks. I think you'll be very surprised at the difference presenting this vertically versus horizontally will do to the overall look of it. And this is what we get, our mini shift quilt done in no time and using only scraps. How cool does this look? Trash to treasure indeed. I love it, I hope you do too, and I will see you soon. Happy quilting, bye bye!